G'day, this is 2011 Triton MN ute. I'm replacing the front strut, or the shocker in the front strut. The simplest way to do it is, if you can see these arrows here and here, this is the first thing you take off or lean back. So you got your bolt, your pivot bolt there, pivot bolt there. You undo that. You put a bit of, there's a rubber bush, hold on, this rubber bush just in here, there it is there, that's holding that up. So all you've got to do is take the pressure off that rubber bush by jacking up the lower wishbone, wish arm or bone or whatever. There's a little clip in there. Where are we? There's a clip down there, just holding that hose line, the brake hose line there, and there's attached to the shocker. There's that, I think it's ABS, some sort of a line there for the ABS. You just undo the nut, the bolt there, and that's all. That when that's free, when the wish arm is off, and the hose is free, so you can swing the wish arm away, you can jack up the bottom wishbone and undo the bottom part of the shocker. Undo the top part of the shocker, those 3 bolts there, and if you've got the pressure off that rubber bush, it should just sort of stay there as you pop those bolts out. This thing here, it springs away, it's spring loaded. You can sort of feel it, and you can move it with a crowbar or a screwdriver, so you don't need to undo that. So you undo these 19mm, and you can already see that I've undone this bolt here, so that's 12mm. You can see these bolts on the wishbone. They're pushed from the inside out. That's the way to go. I couldn't, on the left one, I couldn't put them back that way, so I'll try again on the right. So to get them out, you just put the nut back on, and they're pretty loose because you can see that one worked well. It's all because I put the jack under, and that pressure is off that buffer there. So I've whacked those bolts out. Should just pull out. It will just pull out. Okay, and I've loosened off the brake hose down there. I just got to wiggle that one out, and then this whole wishbone will move away to the side so we can get the big thing out. So that's far enough away to get the strut out. So all I'm going to do now is loosen off all the other nuts so I can pull the strut out. These 3 are probably the slowest because you can't get a socket onto them, but they're, you know, once you crack them, it'll probably take you about 10 minutes to get the 3 off. Then it should all, when I've got the bottom one disconnected, it should all just pull away, and then we pull the shocker out. Okay, they're off. I had to drop the pressure off the jack below to take the pressure off this nut, this bolt, sorry. So I should just be able to just push that through with a podgy bar, and then I'll show you how we get past this if I can. Okay, I've podged that bottom pin out. Now here we go. Got to pull it forward, get the dogs away, get away. So I pulled away by hand. I just need two hands every now and then. Now I'm just going to lever this away so it just gets past the, if I can stop, just the nut. It'll get past. It's just a matter of levering with a, let me just see if I can do it one-handed. See that? Can you sort of see that moving? But anyhow, I need two hands for this. I just use two hands, it's away. So I'll just see if I can shake it further. There you go. That's how easy it is. And this replacing the spring's not that hard. So we'll get on to that next. There she is. So I'm just going to get the spring compressors working on that. And you'll see it's not that hard. Yeah, so that's about where I'm going to put it. You don't have to overextend it with these heavy springs because they're really only compressed about a half an inch or an inch or so. So you don't need to go from top to bottom. Just get it where the spring compressors are comfortable, and you can fit your ratchet in at the top of these, and away you go. So they're both on opposing each other, and I'll just crank them down a bit until things start to get loose on the shocker, and then I can undo the nut that's over there. Okay, I've just loosened them up so you can see that's all you need. You just need a little bit of looseness in there. By the way, that's where you put the spring back right into that corner. Then you won't have any movement after you've reassembled. And this is the nut we take off now. So you just got to hold the shaft steady while you rotate the nut. As soon as you crack it, it's loose. So it's a 17mm nut there. See how we go. So that's how I cracked it. I put my boot on the little one, and as soon as it's cracked, it's real easy to undo. Okay, so that just comes undone. Little washer comes off here. Big washer, I mean. It should push through. And there's your leave everything else in place. That little sleeve in there, just push it back on as you push the other one in. Yeah, just go and get the other one and put it back on before you forget where things go. So you put the new nut and the washer down. It comes off, it's easy to know. That's the shiny side that goes on the inside, and that's the dirty side that goes on the outside. There's the new, what do you call it? Shocker. I think that's loose. Anyhow, look, in she goes. Not hard. Not hard, two hands. Whoa, there we go, I didn't know I was going to do that. But anyhow, that goes there. There's a bush there. Goes. Well, that's how it goes. I'll put that back in, and we start assembling. One hand, it's a bit rough. Alright, so we've got access to all these things. It's just a matter of screwing it on. As I said before, slide the base of the spring around till it seats in at the bottom. I'll do that two hands, and then you won't have any room for slippage or at a later date. Yeah, so she's all back together, just ready to tighten up. So you just tighten that knot and nip it up. I wouldn't go as tight as it was last time, just nip it up so it won't go any further. And job's done, then you can undo the spring compressors. Yeah, so she's all done up. Just down to the end of the thread and you stop. And you get that spring in tight there. I'm sure it'd seat itself later, but just to be sure, before you take the pressure off, get that bottom right. And we left all the the covers and stuff in there. As you can see, this shaft is twice as thick as the original. Okay, the compressors are off and it's ready to go back in. The next, not big problem, but the next problem is you put in the 3 studs at the top, and then with a podgy bar you spin the bottom of the shocker around so it aligns up with its housing, and for remounting the that brake line. Yeah, you put this little clip back on here so that you can mount that brake line. That's what you do. And yeah, let's work out the twisting once I get the top in. Yeah, so I'll try something different this time. Just a bar in on the bottom wishbone. See it springing around like that? That'll get us that shocker in, no worries. Yeah, I'll do this 2 hands though. Yeah, so you don't even need the bar. You just adjust. You just move that the bottom eye of the shocker around with your screwdriver and just align it, and you know that'll go in real easy. But again, 2 hands. But you can see what I'm doing. It's so easy to sort of manoeuvre, and when I get it aligned, the hole aligned with the mount, I'll just drive that bolt back in. By the way, when you get it mounted at the bottom, they align up perfectly, and you can put your 3 bolts back on. Nuts. So using another podging bar to get this into the housing, and when it's close enough I'm going to use a screwdriver to align it and push the bolt through from the rear end of the car. Yeah, so once you got your driver in there and you can move it around, see that? Then you start working on getting it aligned from the other side and pushing the bolt in. So I've got it aligned with the screwdriver, and I've got the bolt just started on that side. I'll now hit the bolt right through till it gets to the other side where my finger is, and then I'll adjust with whatever I can, a screwdriver underneath it, or even a big shifter around the neck of that bottom eye, anything to align the bolt so it can go right through. Yeah, so it's through. It took about 3 minutes. You're just using a screwdriver and just levering and tapping the bolt through when I could, and aligning it up by just looking down the other end. It's a bit hard, but not too hard. Okay, next we put this top wishbone back on. Just remember, the buffer will get in the way if you don't jack up the bottom wishbone, so just jack it up an inch or so and see how you go. It should fall into place. Okay, up we go. Yeah, too hard to put the bolts in from the inside out, so I'll put them from the outside in. It'll just be harder for the next bloke to replace, but this car's done 386,000 on the first set, so I don't know if I'll be worried. Right, they're tight. So just do up that nut that holds the that little tube that's bolted onto the shocker, and also where I marked that arrow, just put the clip back in for the brake hose. It's all done.